Recognizes the gentlelady from Washington's 8th District for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses. I want to start just by expressing how important pipeline safety is all over, but particularly in my home state. It's been about 26 years since the Olympic pipeline explosion in Bellingham, which is less than an hour from my district. And this tragedy killed 3 young people, injured 8 more, and severely impacted the ecosystem and the nearby communities. And many of the safety protections and considerations currently in place stem from this tragedy. So I just wanted to remind us all why we're here and why PHMSA is so important. I'd love to just turn to hydrogen, a fuel that Washington State is heavily investing in. Mr. Moriarty, in your testimony, you discussed the role that your utility plays in the Mid-Atlantic Hydrogen Hub. I was wondering if you could discuss the economic opportunities that this hub will bring to your region.
Thank you for that question. There was a great deal of excitement when Mach 2 was announced, which is our hydrogen hub in the Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Our role as a company was going to be to use our safety town, which is where we have built little houses and little facilities. And I say little, it's just all the appliances that you would use are in there. And we use that to train our employees, but also to train first responders. Our role at Mach 2 was going to be to blend hydrogen into those energy sources to see how they reacted, and then to help train our folks and others to do that. So there was a great deal of excitement when it first started.
That is really cool that Mach 2 has safety down there to do practice and drills. And I think it all makes all of us feel better. We also were very excited about, and we are very excited about being a hydrogen hub in Washington State. In particular in Washington, where we have 70% of our power comes from hydropower, there it's clean hydrogen, which is particularly exciting. It's a way to store that excess energy. And it's one of the reasons I'm so disappointed that this administration and House Republicans are undermining the efforts toward hydrogen, which is one of our important future fuels. When they deliberated about the one big ugly bill, they slashed tax credits for clean energy, including weakening the 45V clean hydrogen tax credit, which is crucial to get this nascent hydrogen industry off the ground. And both Mach 2 and the Pacific Northwest Hydrogen Hub may be on the chopping block, according to some leaked documents. I will also note that one of the largest hydrogen hubs is in Texas, and that these exist in red states and blue states and all over, and we need to be thinking about the future. For the purposes of this hearing and safety, I just wanted to discuss, again, the knowledge gaps that we still need to fill in terms of how to integrate hydrogen fuel into the existing pipeline systems and infrastructure through blending, and later, hopefully, maybe even on its own. And these safety issues have not been fully discussed. Mr. Caram, it's good to see you again. We talked about some of these unknowns last time you were here and why further studies are needed to evaluate what modifications are needed to existing infrastructure to be compatible with hydrogen. We didn't know a ton at the time. It's been about a year. We still haven't passed PHMSA reauthorization and with a hydrogen blending study to address these safety concerns. And I was wondering if you could speak to the urgency of this, the consequences of not filling those knowledge gaps sooner rather than later.
Yes, thank you for the question. At this point, operators do not need to report to anyone, including PHMSA or their state regulator, if they are blending hydrogen into their system, as long as it's below 50%. So we don't really know how urgent this is because we're not aware of how many operators are blending hydrogen into existing systems. I will say that the knowledge gaps and research gaps and regulatory gaps that we discussed last time are largely still present. There hasn't been a lot of progress made as far as I know.
Well, I hope the way we discover the problems isn't through a catastrophe at Safety Town and figuring out where there are gaps in our knowledge and pipelines. So I want to thank you, and I will yield back unless you want to use those 6 seconds. You looked eager to say something. No, okay, I will yield back. Thank you.